Build a positive live chat experience for you and others. Choose who can participate. Set a delay between messages. Hide or put people on timer. Manage messages held for review. Add moderators to your channel. I'm not sure what all that jazz is about. But anywho, oh shit, nearly dropped it. It's not a good start, is it? We are looking in on the BELTA rather, brown ale. My attempt at copying, or we don't call it copying, we call it cloning, Newcastle Brown, which is quite a nice ale. Oh, it's definitely got bubbles. But does it taste like Newcastle Brown? That's the question. That's what you got to ask yourself. Now this was like a part bottle. It wasn't actually a full bottle. 5.2%. It's not going to taste 100% ready just yet. But it's definitely got a carbonation to it. Let's give it a taste. Now straight away, I'm thinking Thixton's Old Peculiar. What's up, Ray? This is the BELTA. They're trying to clone a Newcastle Brown ale. I'm not sure if you get it in the States. It's a really good beer. It's like an really old beer, but it actually tastes more like Thixton's Old Peculiar, which is odd because it didn't taste like that last time. It's definitely got a carbonation though, which is good. I'm not sure whether the camera will pick it up. The light's a bit crap. Oh yeah, it is. It's good stuff. I'm actually surprised you get it in the States. That's good, that is. What about Thixton's Old Peculiar? That's another dark brownish kind of ale. That's a good ale, that is. That's what this tastes like instead of what I was trying to make. So I'm not quite sure how I've done that. But you know, we'll try again. It's definitely got a carbonation, which is what we're testing. We're just making sure that it's actually carbonated before I send it to mature a little bit longer. No, Ab, I have not. But do elaborate. What is this beer called, Knickers? You're either pulling my leg or it's genuine. You have to let me know what brewery it's from. I can have a look after this live feed. We're just checking the carbonation on a beer that I brewed. It's got a carbonation. I've only gone for the half carbonation again because the full carbonation just gasses me out a little bit too much. Definitely doesn't taste like Newcastle Brown. It's sweet. It's got a lot of sweetness because of that lactose. But it's kind of off the mark. Now when I smelt it after I opened it, I thought I nailed it. But for any Brits, it tastes more like Thixton's Old Peculiar than it does Newcastle Brown. But, you know, we won't let it hinder us. I shall try again. It's got loads of flipping yeast particles in as well. I think I poured it a little bit too much. Yeah, they can. Smells can be deceiving. I didn't even smell it before I opened it, before I started drinking it actually. And now I've started drinking it, I'm a bit dull to it. It smells a bit like plum, almost. Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, I've got another 19 bottles of it, so it's good that it's drinkable. What have you got brewing, Ray? I know that you said you had that, was it a peanut butter porter or a peanut butter brown ale? That sounded good, man. That sounded really good. The next brew that I've got, it's basically a lager. Now, I was going to brew it with a Bohemian lager yeast, but I think I'm going to try and brew a lager without the low temperature. So I'm going to be using a Kvike yeast, which can normally be done at really high temperatures, but I'm going to try and do it at normal temperature to see what that gives us. So it's going to be like a lager, but we're not going to use a lager yeast, just to try and make it a little bit more drinkable. Brother-in-law gave me a big bag of fresh hops he grew. The bag smells amazing. Oh yeah, I get the vacuum packed pellets. Have you got the actual cones then? The proper cones? Because it'd be interesting to actually try using some of those one day. I do plan to put a hops plant on my allotment, but I've just got to select a variety that's kind of good for use in any beer, because I want to be able to utilize it a lot. A lot of the ones that we get over here, like the UK hops that are grown mainly over here, not many of them are high bitterness. The actual cones, yeah, nice one. I mean, the pellets, they are good, but I don't think you can beat the actual hop cones, the genuine hop cones. I think they're going to be a lot fresher, a lot nicer, probably produce a better beer than what I can from the pellets, because the pellets are like processed, aren't they? I think they get compressed and then put through like something that just pushes them into the pellets, I expect, and then broken down. So during that compression and stuff like that, they probably lose quite a bit of their potency. Yeah, do it, mate. Please do. That'd be great. I want people to start using the community page to show me what you guys are doing. Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. So I'm actually still undecided whether to use the lager yeast. This is the last one that I've got of these out of the ingredients that I bought last time. But the barley wine is still going. I thought I was going to be dry hopping it today, but I'm not. The digital hydrometer had a different reading to what the analog one did. I opened it up today, had everything sterilized, ready to dry hop, with 25 grams of Chinook. And the analog said that it was at 30 still, which is a little bit too high to be putting your hops in, because it's still fermenting at whatever rate it's fermenting at, and it can ferment your hops out if it's still quite an aggressive fermentation. So you don't want to be doing that. Normally in the past, I've heard that anything below 20 is good, but you kind of want it to be at your final gravity that you want it to be at before you start putting your hops in. And sometimes it kind of kicks up more bubbles anyway. Once you put your hops in, it kind of just kicks it back up. But yeah, this was a long mash, and it was meant to be a long boil, but I didn't actually boil it for the length of time that I was going to, because I just thought, well, I don't want to take too much out of it and then have to put in unsanitary water to top it back up. So what I did is, during the mash phase, I put in more hot water to try and bulk it up, and I only got I got a 9 litre yield, so I'd only get about 8 litres beer, which would be about 16 bottles. But yeah, this had a hell of a lot of hops in it. Now let's sort this argument out, because I've been asking myself, and I haven't actually googled it yet, but barley wine, isn't a barley wine just like an old term for what we now call a triple IPA? Or am I wrong there? because a triple IPA is between 10, no, is it 9 and 11%, around that mark. Now, surely a barley wine is exactly the same, but it used to be called a barley wine because it had to be categorized as a wine because of how strong it was. That's my theory anyway. I should probably Google it before I start chatting shit about something I possibly don't know what I'm on about. But that Nottingham yeast did really well. It's actually a yeast from my hometown. I'm not sure how they found it or got it or whatever, but it's been used for ages and it's known as a high performance yeast. There's a tolerance of, oh, I can't remember now. It's either 14 or 11. It might be 14, you know. Yeah, it might be 14. Yeah, but this other one I'm going to do, it's going to have Pils malt, Munich malt, Carapils, Vienna malt. I can't pronounce this flipping hops. Hellicher Mittelfrau. I'm sure it's a German hops, and it's going to have some Saaz in there as well. Sorry, I've got a really itchy eye. Bloody tired today as well. Yesterday I cycled to the flipping hospital to go see my mum. She's not been very well, but she's getting better now. And it was peeing it down with rain. I got so wet, but I did it anyway. It was about an 18-mile round trip. See, I don't drive and I refuse to pay for public transport when I've got two wheels and I can cycle. But yeah, that's the other one that I've got. There's not really a great deal going off at the moment. I mean, I've got loads of stuff in situ that I need to get around to sorting out. Next on the cards is to bottle the apple and orange mead. That's been sat for quite a long time now. Next is to most definitely bottle that. Oh. What do you plan to brew with the hops that did you say your brother-in-law? Double check what you said. Yeah, brother-in-law. What do you plan to brew with that? And do you know what type of hops it is? Because that normally determines what it's going to be good to use for. Now, I have started a video, but I'm not going to upload it to the Fermented World channel. I am, however, going to upload it to the Walk Cook Walk channel, simply because through fermentation, I am trying to create my own fuel for the cooking equipment that I use at the weekends. Basically, it's just to see if I can, because I thought to myself, well, I must be able to, because that's all these biofuels are. So surely I can ferment sugar, and then through a trick of distillation, which I'm not going to go into because I don't talk about that really, I only ferment on the channel, but through doing that, it should then separate the stuff that's not alcohol and leave the stuff that is concentrated alcohol behind. Then I'm going to put a match to it and see if I can get it to light and see if it's any good for cooking with. Not sure what type they are. Oh, okay, that's fair enough, dude. I need to try and understand the settings a little bit more of this, because I think there's like a bit of a delay in between what's going on. Chat filter. What's a chat filter? Top messages, all message. Show every message, including potential spam. Yeah, we'll have every message on. We're not bothered. We'll have it all. Community moderation. Live chat on. Live chat summary. Participation mode. Anyone. Message delay none. Blocked words. Oh, crikey me, I can block words. Community default. Hold potentially inappropriate chat messages for review. No, I'm not bothered about that. If people want to say stupid things, they can. They'll just get booted. Sayonara. Now, I can't figure out how I'd now turn that from the Theakston's Old Peculiar to a more of a Newcastle Brown kind of thing. Because it doesn't taste like Newcastle Brown, unfortunately. I have to be realistic. It is a nice brown ale, but it's not where I wanted it to be. Now, what I should probably do is a bit of research into Newcastle Brown and see whether I can actually find out what they use in regards to hops. I'm assuming it's just going to be Fuggles, which is a British hops. Maybe something else in there as well. I really couldn't tell. But yeah, probably need to do a bit more research before I try and wing it and create something that I've already brewed before, because I've actually brewed Theakston's Old Peculiar Ale before. Which it actually tasted really, really close to it. It was very good. Why? Frozen Gunner says why. I don't know why. Because I can. Not sure what I want to brew with them. They are weaker than his Cascade hops, so I imagine you could use them a lot for different stuff. Really want to do another honey hopped pine wheat ale. That sounds a bit mental, mate. Honey hopped pine wheat ale. Yeah, that could be pretty good. Sounds a bit complex. But yeah, it does sound good. You see, sometimes things like that can work, and sometimes you just get a load of mess. Like, you know, something that you don't want to drink. I've been trying to not overcomplicate things recently, but there's always that thing in the back of my mind where I'm like, mess with it more, add more, do more, you know? And it's just like, I don't think you need to sometimes. How was your peanut butter brown ale? Have you finished that? Have you actually managed to taste it yet? Because that's something that I'd really like to have a go at, because that does sound good. I mean, having something like dark and rich and kind of sweet like this with some peanut butter in there as well, that could really be good. What's up, LB? How are you doing? Cheers. Yeah, so we've got 500 subscribers now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a digital hydrometer called a Tilt. They're a California-based company. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a raffle as a celebration for getting to the 500 mark, really. I mean, I had a couple of beers the other night, and yeah, it was pretty cool to. I finished the buttermilk. It was good, but needs tweaking a little. Yeah, you see, a lot of these things, you know, they do need tweaking. But yeah, I'm going to do a raffle for one of these digital hydrometers, where you put the hydrometer in the actual beverage while it's brewing, and what it does is it tells you all the information you need to know. It tells you the gravity, it shows you with graphs of how quickly it's fermented, it tells you how long it's been at the same gravity, so you can tell after 2 days that it's been at the same gravity. You'll know that the brew is done, and then you can do whatever with it. You can either dry hop it, knowing that it's not going to ferment anything out. Use peanut powder in secondary. Think next time I'm putting it in the mash. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Peanut powder. So did you get... So are you? Did you not actually use peanut butter then? Because you see, I would have actually just lobbed some peanut butter in and see what flipping happens. Because I think if you'd want peanut butter, you want that salty, buttery taste as well, don't you? That's what I'd think anyway. Now, I tell you what I saw it years ago in one of the books. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I don't know where it is, guys. It's in the amass that is my coffee table. I won't even show it you because it's an absolute shit show. There was someone who'd brewed like some experimental mead, and it was maple and bacon flavour. And I'm like, I think, sorry, I got an itchy nose. I think that's pushing it a little bit too far. Maple and bacon flavour. I mean, it's funny to think that someone's actually done that, and it could work. It could work. Peanut powder is roasted peanuts with a little salt. Okay, so you get the saltiness as well. And I suppose if you put in peanut butter on its own, it's only going to curdle and kind of separate and probably cause problems, isn't it? I want to try and find the book now. Let's see if I can find it. It's probably fallen off the back of the table, if I'm honest. No, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. But I will show you another book that I've got, which has got some really cool recipes in, which is extremely old. Now, I can't remember what year this was actually produced. Let's see if we can find anything that is written on it when it was actually published. No, doesn't seem to have a date on it, unfortunately. But it goes into all sorts of different beverages. Now, this belonged to my granddad. Now, I didn't know that he brewed. It was only when my mum gave me all of her old brewing kit that she gave me this as well. So, looking through this, there's a recipe for mead. Now, it comes in under other drinks, and it says mead. Now, this is the recipe. This is what's in it. It says 3 pounds of honey, 2 whites of egg, wine yeast, yeast nutrients, 1 lemon, and 1.5 gallons of cold water. So it says, put the 3 pounds of honey and grate the rind of the lemon in a large saucepan or a preserve pan with 1.5 gallons of cold water. Beat the whites of the 2 eggs until they are frothy, and add the rest of the ingredients. It's putting raw egg into exactly raw egg. Now, I think it's there to give it some sort of mouthfeel, but why would it put egg in it? So it baffled me, and I've always wanted to try it. And then it just goes on to ciders and beers and things like that. But on the beer side, it says it's just using like malt extract, Christmas drinks. So it's got some, yeah, it's crazy things. It started like cocktails and all sorts. But it's got some pretty good wine things in. It's got damson wine, different methods, grape wine, unripe grape wine. Why would you make it with unripe grapes? A raisin wine, raspberry wine, sugar beet wine, a tea wine. Like, it's like desperation, like back in the day. Like, let's turn everything into sodding alcohol. Life's shit. Apple wine. Now that sounds like it could be quite good. You know, like a really high ABV cider, I suppose. Using cooking apples, granulated sugar, lemons, orange, Campden tablet, wine yeast, and pectinase. So they even had pectic enzyme back then. Really want to know when this was made now, because for my granddad to have it, it must be pretty old. I mean, he passed away in 2000, and he was either 58 or 62. I can't remember. I know that's terrible, but I don't remember. I was only a young lad when he passed away. But yeah, it's good to have this, and it gives you kind of a, I mean, a beetroot wine. Oh crap, there's a barley wine here. 1.5 pounds of barley, 3 pounds of granulated sugar, cold water, teaspoon of ground ginger, 1 lemon, 1 orange. There seems to be a recurring thing here. 1 orange, 1 lemon. Prepare the juice of raisins. A cup of cold strong tea. So we still do that for tannings, don't we? You know, use an overly stewed cup of tea. So I tried to extract rose flavour from the roses in my garden, but when I went away, the roses were fine, and I thought I'll do it when I come back. By the time I'd got back, they were spent. Unfortunately, they had no scent whatsoever, and the way that I was trying to do it, because of the handle to the lid that I had upside down, it was actually plastic. So there was like a plastic flavour coming into it. So for the amount of effort that it would take and the amount of roses it would take to get the rose water, I think I'd probably end up just buying rose water and doing it that way for a rose mead. What did you call it? A rhodamel. Didn't know it was called that. But yeah, I did try to extract the flavour from it, but it didn't work. It didn't work well enough, and there was that plasticky flavour in there as well. And I didn't have anything else suitable to swap it over with at the time, so it was kind of meh, kind of ballsed it up. But you know, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to try again, but it just means at the moment I'm not able to. So yeah, unfortunately, that is that. Just bear with me 1 second. I've just got to mute you guys. I need to talk to my daughter. Do apologise about that. But yeah, so I'm going to have to vamoose because my daughter needs me. She's asleep and her blood sugar's low, so I've got to go sort that out. But cheers to you anyway. Thank you very much for joining me. Life of a carer, mate. 24/7. And because she's asleep and her blood sugar's low, that's down to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will love you and leave you. Sorry I've got a dash, but that is life. Take it easy, and I'll see you all soon. See you later, Ray. Legend.